Today, I wanted to talk about fear. Fear is a very powerful emotion, and I'm seeing a lot of fear out there. A lot of different perspectives. I think there's a lot of lower fourth dimensional energy active right now. And I want to address that a little bit. I want to give everyone an opportunity to expand their perspective on what's happening on the planet, especially when it comes to the galactics and those types of topics. Very easy to get magnetized into a vibration of fear, and that anchors in a frequency of separation. And we really give our power away to those thoughts, to that thoughts of fear, that frequency of fear, and are no longer sovereign. We no longer have free will. So we're going to navigate that a little bit in this video. After I awakened, I started moving up through the lower fourth dimension. And that's the dimension where our nightmares lie, where our fears lie. Everything that can really hurt us emotionally lie in that frequency. Now, I'd wake up in the morning and I would be seeing sacred geometrical patterns. When I would close my eyes, I would close and open my eyes, I would see these geometrical patterns, which represented activations that were occurring within me. And as I was moving up through 4D, they started to get less and less and less. So, but an interesting thing happened to me during that period is I started reflecting out a lot of my fears. Nightmares, had a lot of nightmares, things like that. I talked about the basement, the scary basement, the monster in the basement, prior videos, things like that. The three beings, dark beings with the red eyes that were by my bed with the sleep paralysis incidents, things like that. Now, this was all around the time the galactics were contacting me. They were moving through me. And in order for me to get a clear connection with them, these fears that were in the way had to manifest, and I had to alchemize them. So they reflected out, and I felt all of it. And my guides were here to help me and guide me through that process. After that happened, connection became clear, and I started to get more in tune with my intuition. And as I continued to rise in frequency, a lot of these beings actually reintegrated with me. We got to remember that. See, when we're talking about fear and we're looking out, whether we're focused on galactic wars, what's going on in society, and things like that, this lends to separation. These types of thoughts and emotions will lower your frequency. They make this reality more real. And when this reality becomes more real, we move our energy out into the field, right? Because it's consciousness, it's our thoughts that create this reality. So when we believe that this reality is all real, that we are here on planet Earth, which in this dimension, we are here on planet Earth. We are on this beautiful sphere moving through the cosmos, right? That is a 3D perspective. When we go up the ladder, there is no physicalness. There is no physical Earth. There is no physical universe, right? But we anchor to this grid so we can have an experience of separation. This is the only place where we can do it. Now, that gives rise to fear. And the fear comes up because we are separated from our higher selves, because we are relying on our five senses. Now, when this happens, we are allowed to be manipulated. We can be controlled by others. And when we're talking about evil, we're talking about monsters, we're talking about wars, galactics, and things of that nature, demons. I've had people say, well, these galactics are demons, right? When we're looking at it from that perspective, we are reflecting our fears out into the field, and that is the reality that we are creating. Just as I was moving up through the lower fourth dimension, I was reflecting the galactics out as what people might perceive as demons or shadow people, okay? That was my reality at that moment, but I had awareness because I had awakened. I had the consciousness that I was able to bring into the table and bring it all back in here and detach from that, realize that these fears were coming up so that I could bring awareness to them and alchemize them. That allowed the energy, the higher frequency energy, to be restored. And that created a crystal clear connection with the galactics. Now, I want to talk about our guides. Who are our guides? When we're living here on this planet, the guides are perceived as separate beings. Now, The guides are really you guys. I mean, this is how it is. Okay. I don't know if this is going to resonate with everybody, but your guides and everything you perceive are aspects of you. That is it. Now, how we perceive them is based on the energy makeup that we have within our physical body. What frequencies are active? Are there dense energetic blockages? Do we have areas within our body of lower frequency? If we align with those areas because of some sort of a past trauma, for me, I had tremendous fear of ETs when I was young. That's why I had to move through and clear all that monster stuff, right? If we align with those kind of traumas, we will reflect that energy out. And that is simply our multidimensional self, our soul, showing us the programming that is blocking the full grounding and integration of that multidimensional energy. That is what this reality is all about, to be able to experience these things and reconnect with ourselves. So as fear arises from within you, you need to breathe into your body and detach from the field. You need to pull away from the field and realize that these are densities within you that are coming up to be alchemized, because it's high frequency energy on the other side of that that is pushing this out. So we let it come out. We detach from it. We don't ride it out into the field and identify and align with it. We detach from it. And when we detach from it, we can settle back into the heart. And when we're in the heart, we are free to feel our higher self, and we can bring love to the table. When we bring love to the equation and start to bring love forward, we realize that we start to see love everywhere. And that's what happened with me. My galactics, as they came in, and then I perceived these very scary images, quickly turned to love, because I knew what was happening. My main guide had helped walk me through that process. He guided me through the process. He said, these are aspects of you that are trying to come through, and everything that is blocking that is being reflected out into the field. That's where these shadow beings were coming from, these demonic type beings, right? Okay. So we recognize that, we bring awareness to that, and know that that is a process of alchemizing that dense energy and allowing our higher frequency light to land here. And as we continue to go through that process, our frequency rises and we become that energy. That's how we manifest New Earth. That's how we affect the grid here with consciousness. When we could ground more consciousness, the frequency of the entire planet rises, more individuals awaken, they come online, they reconnect with their higher selves, and then they're able to ground that, and things kind of start expanding like that. That's what's happening here. I wanted to mention too, it's very important. I want to go back and circle back to this point. Everything you experience is you. We need to find the love in all of the external experiences and bring it forward, even the ones that don't look so good. Okay. I know there's a lot of bad things. We perceive bad things happening across the planet. We've perceived bad things happening throughout history. These are all opportunities and experiences to give rise to our consciousness, to allow us to transmute those experiences, the density that lies within us, and ground more of our higher self and transmute that, rise in frequency. Everything is an opportunity for that. Know that everything that you are experiencing is for your growth, because again, it's all you. Now, I've heard people talk about, if you have guides, maybe, they're demonic. Maybe you shouldn't listen to them. Pure knowledge needs to come from a knowing. Okay. Well, as we expand in frequency, pure knowledge does come from knowing. We integrate this energy. Okay. But we have a choice. We are here in a 3D reality. And this 3D reality was set up so that we can reflect out aspects of us and have experiences that are separate right here. So we have a choice. We can bring information forward and experience it as a knowing. We can also make a conscious choice to reflect that information out through our guides. And I do that all the time. Sometimes I want to communicate with my guides. Sometimes I go internally and I bring the information forward. That's a choice. Just like when we lose a relative, a parent, somebody passes on, they are no longer in this reality. that energy that was reflected out into the field, those individuals, returns to us. Okay. But we disconnect, we feel a disconnection from them because we are so anchored in this 3D reality. We feel that something was lost because we no longer can perceive them with our five senses. Okay. When we could step it back in here, and guys, I speak from experience. I went through this with both of my parents very recently. Okay. Very quickly was able to communicate with them after they had passed on. And after they had passed on, the communication kind of slowed down and died down a little bit because I had reintegrated that energy and was able to bring awareness to the traumas and things that generationally were left to me. Okay, that was part of the process. So when we lose someone, it gives rise to an opportunity to reintegrate their energy right here. And when we do that, we start to be able to communicate with them. Okay, that comes through. That's part of the reintegration process. And eventually that kind of pulls away and everything that they were becomes part of you. And then it's up to us to alchemize whatever it was that we had placed out into the field through them existing in our reality. Does that make sense? This is really high frequency stuff, guys. I wanted to start to bring this forward because I want to open up a doorway for you guys who are feeling a little bit of fear. I want to give you an opportunity to step through that doorway and join me in this path to the higher frequencies. And in order to do that, we're moving through this lower fourth dimensional space, and the planet is going through it, right? We see it all over the place, crazy stuff happening. And we're going to feel this, and we need to feel all of this. But the main message with this video about fear is first to realize that everything is happening for your growth, for your benefit. And second, it's all a reflection of what is happening within here. So let's bring it inside, detach from what our five senses are showing us, and work with the actual energy. And that's what we do in my group sessions in our membership, our premium membership on my website twice a month. We work on those types of things so that we could learn how to alchemize the density. And we talk about different tools, breath work, meditations, and things like that to assist with that. So if you're ready to step into that and reclaim your power, because when you can do that, you actually will reclaim your power and you will start to have a conscious choice. You'll have an awareness of a choice point. Do I identify with what I'm experiencing through my five senses? Or do I take my power back and know that everything's happening for my greater good, for my growth? So I hope this video resonated with you guys. If you know anybody that needs to hear this message, please share this video. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're seeing this on Facebook, follow me. I would greatly appreciate it. We're going to talk a lot more about this. This is something I feel that is really needed out there. So stay tuned for more videos like this, guys. Thank you.